Going on. Apparently, we as the United States are slowly getting surrounded by Russian ships. And why isn't the news talking about this? We're talking about Russian warships, nuclear warheads, and hypersonic missiles, and it's not even on the news. And Russian ships off the coast of Hawaii, not even 25 miles. And this has been going on for weeks. And it's just starting to emerge in the news now, I think, because there's so many of us out there reporting on it. They probably feel like they need to start getting on it. And of course, numerous reports of them being up off the coast of Alaska. Many people reporting that they continually get chased off. But if you're anything like me, what you're noticing is a trend of them just closing in. So like I said, I'm seeing all kinds of reports. There's only a handful of YouTuber preppers out there that are reporting on this. We apparently have Russian nuclear missile ships off the coast. We've got many reports up near Alaska. We've got reports of them being off the Hawaiian coast, not even 25 miles. And the new one creating all the buzz is the one off the East Coast. Supposedly a Russian hypersonic nuclear tipped missile ship with nuclear warheads and hypersonic missiles. And this one is expected to only be around 100 miles off the coast. So is it just me, or does it look like we're slowly getting surrounded? And more so, what's the probability of an attack? And if they did happen to get crazy and pull a trigger, what are the effects? Let's go over it. Okay, so let's start with...
All right, Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring, the house of David, the elect, that's pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you brothers and shalom to the elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakah Quadash. And we've been saying this for years through prophecy, that America, Babylon was surrounded by Russian and Chinese warships. We've been saying this for years. All right. That's why I wanted to play that video in the beginning, because I want you to listen to real quick to what Trump has to say. This came out today about Trump wanting to have the country Greenland. Check this out. All right. This was like a few hours ago today.
We need Greenland, very importantly, for international security. We have to have Greenland. It's not a question of, do you think we can do without it? We can. If you look at Greenland right now, if you look at the waterways, you have Chinese and Russian ships all over the place. And we're not going to be able to do that. We're not relying on Denmark or anybody else to take care of that situation.
Right. So you heard what he said. Okay. He says when you look at the waterways, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. So let's go to the map real quick. Right. So I had that pulled up just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So remember, the point of this lesson is that America is surrounded by these Russian and Chinese warships. So you got Greenland right here. Salakia. Right? So you got Greenland right here. So that means they're all in this area of the Atlantic Ocean. He said when you look at the water waves, Russia and Chinese ships are all over the place, all right? And then a couple years ago, as we saw in the first video, all right, these ships are everywhere, all right? Up in Alaska, because, you know, when you go back, okay, Alaska is like a hop and a skip from Russia. You see, and this is not, these are the things that are not being reported. People don't understand how close we are to nuclear war, to something happening. That's why I found this video that came out today, highly spiritual. Okay. Now I want to grab a couple of scriptures and then I'll finish out that other video. Right. But that made me think about when I saw it, I found that old video that I played in the beginning just to show you that, look, this has been talked about for some time now, about this place being surrounded by these foreign threats, if you will, right? This is Jeremiah 51. And again, this is all the Lord. Jeremiah 51 verse 1, and it reads, it says, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. And that destroying wind represents the nuclear destruction. All right, that's going to totally annihilate this continent of North America, right? It says, verse 2, it says, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and it says, and shall empty her land. The fanners are the missiles. For in the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about. Okay, and it's heavy through the spirit. You have Russia and China, surrounding this place round about. Right? It says, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. All right, so this place is going to be utterly wasted. Verse 4 says, thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. You see, so this place is being set up again for complete desolation. Right? Let me jump down. Verse 11. Okay. I'll start at 10. Jeremiah 51 and 10. It says, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, have brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, our power. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, right? That's going back to Russia. For his device is against Babylon, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the vengeance of his temple. So this is happening for the sake of the Lord's people. All right, the Israelites, starting with the elect. Verse 12, it says, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes. Okay, so that's what's going on now. All right, these nations are preparing the ambushes against this place. Basically, the sneak attack, the secret attack. Right? It says, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes. For the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, have both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. So people are really clueless of what's happening. We've been telling you this for years through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, through prophecy, that this place was literally being surrounded right now as we speak. All right, against the inhabitants of Babylon. People don't, man, they have no idea what's happening. I want to read that in the, because I got to get out the camp real quick, but I just wanted to just put this up. Right? So this is in the NLT. This is Jeremiah again. Jeremiah 51 and 12. NLT, it says, raise the battle flag against Babylon, reinforce the guard and the station, the watchmen, prepare an ambush. For the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, will fulfill all his plans against Babylon, which he's going to utterly destroy this place. All right, so these times are getting real heavy, man. All right, and I wanted to just finish out that video real quick, right?
Alaska, talk about that for a minute. Then we'll go to Hawaii, and then we're going to go to the East Coast, which is the most concerning one of them all. So most of us have seen the reports of the ships off of the Alaskan coast, which is, I think, within about 100 miles. And this happens to be Russian ships and Chinese ships. And the reports of those really...
Yeah, understand how close this is, as you see on the map. All right, here's Russia, right? There's Alaska right here on the right. Okay, let's go up. You see? Off 100 miles off the coast. So look, things are happening, man, behind the scenes. Right? These nations are they're preparing that ambush, as we just read. That secret attack. You see?
started ramping up at the end of September into October, which was just a few months ago. Here in this article of Newsweek, you can see it's titled Russian and Chinese Navy ships spotted less than 100 miles off the coast. Now, I'd have to say that spotting these ships up off of the Alaskan coast is probably more common, not as much as being 25 miles off of the Hawaiian coast or 100 miles off of the East Coast. Real quick, this article said a group of Russians and Chinese warships were spotted in the Bering Sea several dozen miles off of the Alaskan island. And this started September 19th. The U.S. Coast Guard said on Monday, confirming Moscow and Beijing's second joint patrol in 12 months. Now, this wasn't just a couple ships. I believe there was 7 or more ships. The crew of Legend-class cutter USCGC Kimball monitoring a surface action group comprising at least 7 ships, 4 of the Russian Navy and 3 of the Chinese People's Liberation Army. And this was according to the Coast Guard's 17th District. A statement said by the Chinese Navy's Type 055 destroyer Nat Chang, which the U.S. classifies as a guided missile cruiser, sailed approximately 75 nautical miles north of Kiska Island. The Nanchang was joined by 2 other Chinese vessels and 4 Russian naval vessels. And they weren't separated, they were all in single file order, as they operated in the U.S. Exclusive Economic Zone. Here's a map of the U.S. CG District 17 area of operation, so it gives you an idea of what area and what waters they were traveling in. So what we know is that they're breaking the rules. They're entering in zones that they're not supposed to be in. Is it by accident? Absolutely not. And more concerning, across the board, the Russians and the Chinese seem to be working pretty tight together, especially when they're traveling in single file lines together. In this photo right here, listed in the Newsweek article, you can see that the U.S. Coast Guard is spotting the foreign naval vessel resembling the Russian Navy. This picture right here, a destroyer from the Chinese People's Liberation Army. Now you can definitely see that these are not ships that are like scientific explorers that got off course. These are warships. These are fighting ships. So I read through a lot of comments. Some people think that it's war strategy. Other people say, don't worry about it.
Boom. All right, so there you have it, man. Hey, this thing is close, man. Again, Isaiah 13. Let's add on to that. Isaiah 13 and verse 17. And it reads, Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Who are the Medes? The Russians. I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. There is no more diplomacy. There's no peace agreements. There's nothing. Ceasefire, you know. This is the Spirit of the Lord that's amping this up. Okay, the nations are ready. They're preparing. Their bows also shall dash the young men into pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children, all right, because those missiles are going to bring complete destruction. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. All right? Verse 20, It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and the satyrs shall dance there, because this place post-destruction is going to be like a complete, a desert, man, full of unclean animals. You know, it says, in the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate places, in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So this thing is itching closer and closer. All right. The Lord said that her days shall not be prolonged, man. We're approaching the end of this place. All right.
We need Greenland, very importantly, for international security. We have to have Greenland. It's not a question of, do you think we can do without it? We can. If you look at Greenland right now, if you look at the waterways, you have Chinese and Russian ships all over the place. And we're not going to be able to do that. We're not relying on Denmark or anybody else to take care of that situation.
Yeah, so there you have it, man. All right. Closer than ever. All right. When you take a look at the map. So I pray this quick lesson was edified. Shalom to the next one. Shalom.